I can't believe you farted right before we went on live. Oh crap, we're live.
You have to. You have to.
You're,
You,
it's so. I'm so
you
glad.
got to get them out before the mics are hot.
You hit,
right?
next time I'm going to hit the button and I'm going to catch you just dropping, floating in air biscuits that loud. It was. Thankfully, people don't have to listen to it. It reverberates and now it's stuck in my ears.
Probably like picking his nose. and like looking at it and shit.
Are we going on live again?
Hold on a second. And he's like eating it.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, this tastes like bacon.
Oh man. What's up, folks? Happy Monday. We flew through another month, so congrats everybody. We're in April.
We made it.
April Fools was tame this year, was it not, Rob? Or were we just too busy?
I was too busy, man.
Yeah. Did you guys get hit with any good April Fool's things? I saw Timbits did square Timbits.
Oh, really? I didn't see.
And I was like, yo, I could go for some square Timbits.
I didn't see anything online really. I was like nothing, but I was preoccupied, so I didn't really get to see a lot. I didn't see. I don't know. I was in the U.S. I don't know if they celebrated April Fools. I have to ask Scott because there was nothing happening where I was at. So
there's a lot of April Fools over there. So maybe that fills it up. Hey, if you guys got good on April Fools, let us know.
I sent you a text to go, hey, you're my best friend. That was my April Fool's joke.
Yeah. I was like, who is this?
I don't allow white people to text me. What is this?
Yeah. So what's up, guys? I see a bunch of guys in the chat. I see Scott. Scott's tuning in, looking at Rob's new remodel, folks. If you haven't noticed, Rob's got some fancy dancy stuff in the background. He covered that window. He like busted out that window and rebuilt a wall over it. And then just knocked down the wall and put a door back there. Or he could have just flipped all this stuff on the other side of the room. That would have been an easy way to do it, Rob.
Yeah. I should have thought of that. You know how much paperwork I had to fill out to have that window covered up for emergency purposes?
You should just put bars on it.
Yeah, there was. You forget.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You live in the hood over there. But anyways, welcome folks to the Sidekick Show.
My John Ho entrance.
just have a
kids, he's out their windows again. Let me in.
Yeah, it is April 3rd. So thank you everybody for spending your Monday with us. We will be talking about Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol later. So if you are following us for our Mission Mondays, we're counting down every Mission Impossible movie until Dead Reckoning comes out, and we are now on the 4th movie. So Ghost Protocol this Monday, and then next Monday, May 1st, we'll be doing not May 1st, but the first Monday in May will be what's number 4? Number 5.
Number
is that
5
Rogue Nation?
Is oh crap!
It's Rogue Nation, isn't it?
It's which one?
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation. Yeah.
Rogue Nation. Which that is the one that I mistakenly have 2 copies of. I thought it was Ghost Protocol for some reason, but it's not. I don't know why. But yeah, so hopefully you guys have rewatched it recently, or you're going to relive the experience of Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol with us. We did watch 1, 2, and 3, and we'll rank those all together so you guys have your list ready. So we'll get to that. But first of all, we like to open the show up. We want to see what you guys got up to. A lot of stuff's been going on. A lot of movies been coming out. A lot of TV shows in full swing. Rob, I heard Stu was a big fan of the new Quantum Leap show. I don't know if you kept up with that one, or if anyone in the chat did.
Yeah, so I've been watching it. I have an issue with my Bell 5. So every time I record, it only allows me to keep it for 24 hours, then disappears. And I don't know why. And
the fridge?
I don't know. I could have called Bell to find out what's going on. I haven't. So I've fallen behind a bunch of my like air shows, like like Quantum Leap, like Superman and Lois and all that. So they're on my to watch list to catch up, but I've been really enjoying it. I'm probably about 4 episodes behind or so.
Okay. So yeah. So if you guys are watching anything new or started something new this weekend, or there's a show that you've been watching every time it comes out, I'm mad jealous if anyone's watching Ted Lasso. I'm kind of waiting for a couple episodes to build up on that one. But Rob, how was your weekend? I know you had a busy weekend. So did you get up to anything else other than that, or you can tell us about your experience?
Yeah, so yeah, thanks, buddy. So I was away in Niagara Falls on the New York side all weekend long, from Thursday until Sunday, for my daughter's dance competition. So it was a fun week. It was a very wet, rainy weekend.
Yeah.
But it was good. We went to the Olive Garden, John. The kids were going there. So yeah, went there. Also they have a rainforest cafe. So we went there for lunch and dinner.
How was your experience at the Rainforest Cafe? For me, it is always 100% overrated.
Yeah, of course. It's the same shit as it was when it was at Scarborough Town Center back in the 90s and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Nothing's changed. Including, so I went to pay. So my son and I had lunch there one day in between my daughter's routines. And I said, okay, can I get the bill? She goes, yeah. She hands me the bill. And I'm like, okay. And then she's waiting. And I said, I'll pay by Visa? And she goes, I need your card. And I'm like, yeah, just bring me the machine. She goes, I need your card. We don't have a machine. I'm like, oh, this is like old school. So she took my card away, which always makes me very nervous because it's been like, I don't know, 15 years since somebody's done that. Takes my card away. She comes back with I guess like a pre-authorized amount of just the amount of the food. And then I have to like type in, like I have to write in what the tip is and then add it up. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done this in like, I don't know how long. But my 14-year-old son told me there's a trick. If you have an Apple Watch, John, on the calculator app on your Apple Watch, you can type in the amount of the bill, and at the very top it says tip, and then you can actually, it tells you the tip, and then you can change using the crown the percentage, and then it tells you the tip and then the total. So I was like, I just typed in the bill amount, put my 18% tip in, it told me the amount, and I wrote it down, and it was great. And he's like, what are you writing? And I'm like, I have to write the tip in. He goes, that's crazy. And I was like, I was expecting him to come with like the old machine to go chuk chuk to take.
Man, that's archaic now. Like we're spoiled here in Canada, folks, or in at least I guess in Toronto, wherever everything is automated. What if you only had your Apple Watch to pay? You know, a lot of people like.
Okay, so there's a Starbucks in the hotel, and my wife, my daughter wanted something again in between. So I ran back and I grabbed them something, and I didn't have my wallet with me because the convention center was literally right across the road from the hotel. So all I had was my phone. I always pay with my Apple Pay. And the guy at Starbucks was like, yeah, we don't do Apple Pay. I'm like, okay.
What? Well, how about a song and a dance?
I was like, hello, mother. Hello, father. And then he's like, yeah, do you know like the 16 digits of your Visa? And I was like, who would know that? Thankfully, I had $20 in my pocket. I was like, okay, I have cash. It's fine. But it was Starbucks. It was $18 for 2 drinks. And so anyways, so I was away for the weekend. I did start watching The Night Agent. I'm only 3.5 episodes in, so I'm partway through episode 4. I'm finding it very difficult to get through it. Although it was one of the fastest renewals in Netflix history. Like the show came out the weekend before last on the Friday, and on Sunday evening they already ordered a season 2. So
people are loving it, Rob. Okay, so folks, if you guys are watching Night Agent, let us know what you think in the comments. Me and Rob are kind of like about it. I don't know if maybe we're spoiled with all this prestige TV, maybe, and this is like the top of the chain for like a network type show. But people are loving it, Rob. Like people are hooked on it. They're like calling it like mini 24 or a mini version of like a mystery movie or something like that. People are really digging this show.
I'm having a difficult time, admittedly, with some of the acting in it. But I am. It is my mission, John. Should I choose to accept it, is to finish it this damn week. Watch it this week, at least season 1, just to get it over with. So I want to see if it gets any better. So, so that is really all I did. Oh, and then I had some friends who were at the Ajax toy show at the Ajax Convention Center. And I went there, and I thought you were going to be there, and you bailed. And I paid $10 to get in to see my buddy, and he wasn't there, but I was really happy. I got to see Jonathan Yo. First time I got to meet him in person. So it was really good to see Jonathan. And I saw Pat and a couple of the other guys that were there. And then Pat's like, oh, it's too bad you paid to get here. And I was like, yeah, but John, it was worth the price of admission because John's not here. I paid to not see John. So I raced back from the from the States just to go and see you, to support you, and you were nowhere to be seen. So like Pokeroo, you just disappeared, John.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna pull this, so I have the exact text that you send me that says, "Hey, buddy, have fun at the Ajax Toy Show this weekend. Wish I could come up there, but I'm
Yeah.
out dancing in a competition.
That's right. Yeah, so I raced back. I said, Kelly, I know you want to go shopping. I know the
I know
kids
this guy
want
messages me at like 11 something and is like, hey, are you still there? I'm like, yo, dude, you said you weren't coming. But anyways, I pulled double duty. So I went to the show and did all the setup and all that kind of stuff. And then I took off and I was back at the shop. So some people that went to the toy show came to the shop after and did a double take and was like, yo, I just saw you. What happened?
Yeah. Pokeroo.
So that was
This
fun.
guy went multiplicity on himself. So.
Yeah. Toy shows are always a fun time. This was a new venue for us. We have not vended at the Ajax in a while or ever. Sorry, but I have attended other toy shows in Ajax before. But yeah, fun times, folks. The next toy show that we are doing is coming up at the end of the month. So we got another one coming up. I think it's April 23rd in Mississauga. So if you guys want to see some cool toys and you want to visit us in Mississauga, go there and we'll see you there. No, Lewis, he did not get the rug pulled up from under. He legit said he was not coming.
And I look how I raced back, man, to be able to.
You did not race back.
I did.
You did not live your life a quarter mile at a time.
No, I
go to the Ajax show.
Family.
I look forward to seeing that Harley Quinn poster in the back of your office one day.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, at the Ajax Toy Show, there was apparently a giant topless artist rendering of Harley Quinn. So John got that for himself. He put it up on his ceiling, and
I was curious if they got asked to like cover it up. At some point in the show, or if someone just straight up bought it. But it would be a funny poster to have to explain to new guests at your place. Well, see, this is Harley Quinn. She's a comic book character, but I really wanted a render of her topless, and I put it in my dining room. But anyways, folks, just to that, Rob. I did not finish Night Agent, so if some of you guys finish Night Agent, let me know. But it does do a good job of hooking you with that kind of next mystery. And people seem to love the twists and turns. So if you haven't watched it, let us know. But yeah, we'll see on that. But I did go see Rob. I saw Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay,
on Thursday night with our boy Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, I think his name's Victory something. He was in the Pokemon movie.
Justice Smith.
Justice, not Justice.
Victory.
Victory, Justice, whatever. He was actually really good in the movie. And a whole host of Hugh Grant's in that movie. Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen Dungeons & Dragons, and I think we're going to have to cover it. I don't know if Rob's going to see it. But
I might now. I might.
Dungeons & Dragons, a ton of fun. And me and the people who went to go see it were like, Chris Pine, he usually delivers, right, Rob? Like most of the time you watch a Chris Pine movie, you're like, yeah, he was good in it. He's never the reason the movie was bad. You never
fails to disappoint is what you're saying.
Yeah, he fails to disappoint except for that one mark on his career. Rob, do you know what movie that is? The one movie that is absolutely terrible bad that he was in. It's Wonder Woman 84.
It's the one that he did the Tom Clancy one, right?
No, it's Wonder Woman 84, dude.
Oh yes, yeah.
that one mark on his record, Wonder Woman 84, which is an awful piece of trash.
Right.
So yeah, Scott, 100%. You got to go see Dungeons and Dragons. I won't really spoil anything, but I'll say you're gonna have a ton of fun watching it, unless you are expecting a super realistic, not realistic, but super fantasy Lord of the Rings style movie. Okay. It's not that. It's more of like a fun. It delivers on what the trailer shows you. So
let me ask you, John.
Yeah.
As somebody whose Dungeons and Dragons experience is limited to the cartoon that ran from 1982 to 1984.
Yeah.
Where they're on the roller coaster and they went into the mountain and transported to the Dungeons and Dragons. Will I enjoy this movie?
Yeah, you're gonna have a ton of fun. It's the formula that we all know. It's a bunch of you make a team, you go pull a heist or whatever. It's the same thing that it's Fast and Furious does it. This Mission Impossible movie we watched kind of does it. Like everything kind of uses this formula, but it feels like this is where it all came from. So if we had this movie when we were kids instead of that trash D&D movie that came out back in the day,
right,
we might be living in a different climate. D&D might have exploded back then, and it would have been crazy. But yeah, you guys will have a lot of fun with this, and have a lot of laughs. And there are plenty of nods if you are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons. So 100% go see that one. And that's really the only other thing I got up to other than the toy show and watching Mission Impossible. I was there,
No,
I was just there before you were there.
Yeah, you took a quick photo and you said, "I'm out of here, guys." You use a green screen.
Yeah.
I am gonna. You know what? I talked to my son, and this weekend, even though it's a long weekend, you know, as those of us who have significant others tend to find out, they book you for a whole bunch of shit. So your long weekend is really not an enjoyable long weekend because you have extra things to do. But if I get time this coming weekend, I'm going to try to see it. I am, though, John, going to go check out John Wick 4 again tomorrow night.
Oh, look at you.
Another 3 hours.
Yeah. If you guys are going to go see Dungeons & Dragons, let me know in the comments. Or if you're going to go see John Wick 4, let us know. I know a whole bunch of people. I know someone who saw it like 3 or 4 times. I talked to him on the weekend, and I was like, "Damn, that's a lot of time." Yeah, that's a lot of hours times 4.
That'd be 12 hours, John. Way to go!
Yeah.
I got this new T-shirt when I was in the US. That's the one thing I like about going to the US. You can get some pretty cool T-shirts. So I just want to show that off. All right, man. Do you want to? Oh, Fraser, why would you do that?
Hey, some people have a nostalgia bug for that first D&D movie. If anyone's watched it recently, let us know if it holds up. Let's see. Scott Graziano says, and Lewis criticized Star Trek. Did you guys not like Star Trek? I really like the Star Treks with Chris Pine.
I thought they were good. Yeah, I know. Like Star Trek Into Darkness. Probably. Wait, was that that was the second one that they did?
That's the Benedict Cumberbatch show, right?
Yeah.
I
thought Lewis might not have liked Star Trek Beyond, but yeah, maybe he did.
It's Beyond. Just the Justin Lin one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Sabotage. I love that.
Fast and Furious.
Star Trek with motorbikes in it. I never thought that was going to happen, but here we are.
Yeah. For those who are wondering how things are going with the Heroes World podcast with Stu, you know what? We are at a moment where scheduling is out of control crazy. And we know that we have a lot of things to catch up on, including, John, this past weekend, the Tetris movie dropped on Apple TV Plus. And
literally,
I don't know if you still. Yes, we have to slot it into our schedule. So I'm not sure if you still have your Apple TV Plus. I plan on watching it this week, and I don't know. I'm for sure Stu would have seen it. So
yeah,
we have a lot to get to. A lot of things that we've watched and we want to review, and we're just trying to get our schedules kind of aligned.
Air comes out this week too. If you any sneakerheads out there, gonna watch.
Oh yeah, I do want to see it, but you know what? I think it's hitting Amazon Prime like in beginning of May or something. So I might just wait to I might just wait. I've heard good things about it though.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see what people. So Lewis says he likes Star Trek Beyond. So you hate Star Trek Into the Darkness, but I don't know. I like those Star Trek movies, and we'll get back to that. Yeah. So hey, Lewis actually wants to see Air. I don't know. Do you own a pair of Jordans, Rob?
No, my son just bought his first pair this weekend while we were away.
Oh man.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, you should buy these," and I was like, "I don't want. It's all right. I like my listen. I'm in between Vans. I like wearing my Vans with my suits. I know it seems weird, but I look good rocking a pair of Vans with a dress suit. Yeah. But I really like my Adidas kicks. I have a pair of blacks and a pair of whites.
Yeah.
And I mix them up. So
yeah, and that was our "You So White, Rob" segment. I wear my Vans with my suits. White guy, check mark. Did you ever own like a sports shoe? Did you buy like a pair of Shaqs or anything?
No. I used to have. I don't think I ever owned a pair of Jordans because they were super expensive. And no, I am not into Crocs. And then
I heard Crocs are mad comfy. Scott, are you a Croc guy? Let us know. I've never rocked a Croc before.
Right? my daughter uses them, but I don't. And then I also don't have Birkenstock. Sorry, Scott. Yeah. And if I did, I still wouldn't wear them with wool socks. I think I had the Reebok pump at one point. I don't know.
I feel like I had one pair of pumps. It never did anything. It just kind of aired out the ankles. I think we all thought it pumped up the bottom of the shoe.
Right.
But I think it was ankle support, right? I think that's what it was supposed to do. I had a pair of remember Patrick Ewing shoes? Those were really hot for some reason because they were suede. I had a pair of those. That was probably the closest I got to like a big mass market sports shoe.
Yeah.
But all my buddies would have the Iversons and the Jordans and the Shaqs and all that stuff. So
it's so funny because I tried telling my son he doesn't like the music I like, and I
get out of town.
Who would have thought? And I'm like, listen, buddy, you're going to go to a cottage and they're not going to play Kendrick Lamar tunes. I'm sorry to hate to tell you this.
Oh, they should play Kendrick Lamar.
They won't.
Does your son actually listen to Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah.
My guy, Noah. Yes.
But I told him, I said, listen, you got to learn to appreciate like the hip and all these, because you're going to go to a cottage and you're going to be on a sand dune with a bonfire, and there's going to be girls wearing oversized sweaters and Birkenstock shoes with wool socks, drinking, Canadian bottle, and listening to the Tragically Hip. Like, you need to get.
No, they're not, Rob. They're not going to do that anymore. You're living in the 70s, buddy.
No, I'm telling you, man.
The Stallion and Sablato.
No, they're not. They're not going to. I'm telling you, you're going to get those cottage.
If you're on a beach, maybe some Camila Cabello. Odds are an Ed Sheeran song is going to get in the mix somewhere. But sorry, dude, Tragically Hip is not going to be playing on that beach with those kids. But you can remember. Yeah, exactly. It's like, is this an episode of One Tree Hill?
I'm telling you.
Anyways, folks, thank you everybody for sharing. It looks like most of the people were just making fun of what we did on the weekend. But if you guys had anything that you guys watched, I think some of the guys did see John Wick, but it looks like not as many people saw D&D, the movie, as I thought they would. So I'm quite surprised.
It did decent at the box office. It did. Yeah. It knocked Wick out of the first spot, but I think that there was a lot of trepidation because I think the marketing for the D&D was kind of weird, to be honest with you. Like, the trailers were kind of like hit and miss for me, at least. And then I think a lot of people had a really bad taste with that first movie, so they're like,
No one remembers that movie. I think it's just gonna take a second. I think people were just probably busy this weekend, or people we know, maybe the younger crowd all went to see it. We're gonna find out, but I think you'll have a fantastic time if you go see in D&D. That's one of those movies you're gonna go see, and if you enjoy it, you might go see it again. If you're like, oh, I got to show my buddy this, because I can already think of a bunch of people I'm like, oh, let's go watch this together. But
it's really weird because you never called me. Okay,
yeah, you went too far. I invited you to so many movies, Rob, back in the day, and you're like, no, man, too far.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
well, come my way.
One day we'll come out there. Yeah, driving to the Ajax show versus driving to the Mississauga comic show, toy show. Was infinitely shorter. It was amazing. It was a fun drive. We went over to the Wendy's over there too and got a lunch. But anyways, let's move on. Rob, at the shop today, today, this week, or recently, I got in the He-Man game. So I don't know if you're down with some He-Man. I don't know if you have any He-Mans in your basement somewhere. We just got in the brand new board game, Clash of Eternia. Really cool. We got a bunch of the Kickstarter bundles in. So they are limited. They're hard to find. I think they're sold out mostly online. This game comes with a ton of miniatures, and you can play single player, or you can play up to, I think, like 5 players in a versus or co-op mode. So if you guys are looking for a fun game to really dive into, and you want a little bit of nostalgia, or maybe you just want some cool He-Man looking minis, check that out. But yeah, no, Scott, there is no Spaceballs board game yet, but I feel like that should be next.
We've been jammed, sir.
Yeah.
I feel it's so weird how He-Man is coming back, but like the retro style, the look of He-Man.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't credit the Kevin Smith cartoon or anything else like that, but it just feels it's nostalgic, right? Everything's coming back. Everything that's old is new again, right? So
yeah, well, it's kind of like everything else. G.I. Joe, Transformers, all that stuff got like a moment in the limelight now. So that older stuff, He-Man, Mask. Some of the more obscure stuff.
Mask coming back?
It's all this stuff is in talks,
What about Turbo Kid, the kid who turns into a car when he got hit by lightning driving his car? Did that come back?
No. Sorry, Rob. That only lives in your dreams. No one knows what show that is.
And then every time he gets touched by water, he turns back human. You don't remember that cartoon? Turbo Kid.
That sounds ridiculous. Why water?
Cartoon.
Why water?
I don't know. It was his kryptonite. I don't know. That's why every time he would be in the car would be driving. The cartoon, his hands would go all big and black and turn into the wheels, like, and his face would go into the grill of the car.
I don't think they've gotten to 60
You
stuff
should
yet.
you should Google it up or Turbo Kid while I'm doing the news, and you'll see. What
All
I'm
right,
talking about.
I'll go pull a Turbo Kids picture for you guys to look at. But let's kick it to Rob for the news. And if anyone other than Scott and Rob remember Turbo Kid, let us know. But
Yeah. So listen, so I forgot what else I didn't do this weekend ties in the news. So John, the first time in like 25 years, I decided to watch WrestleMania. Yesterday, and you know what? I loved wrestling growing up. I loved it all the way through. I remember, when the Undertaker was killed, and there's two takers, and who was the real taker, and SummerSlam, and this and that. I love all that shit. So I decided to watch some WrestleMania. I don't know when it moved to being 2 nights. I only watched night 1, but it tied into today's news that broke very early this morning. Originally, it was leaked yesterday by Deadline and then confirmed about 7:15 this morning that Endeavor, which owns the UFC and is run by Ari Emanuel, who was the what do you call it? The inspiration for Ari in the Entourage TV series. Anyways. Endeavor has agreed to purchase a controlling interest in WWE. So they are making one big, giant $21 billion empire called that will merge UFC and WWE. And on the stock market, when it gets approved, their stock ticket will be TKO. So that's a huge thing. So John, I know that you're not, I don't know if you're really into wrestling or not. I obviously have been out of the game for a very long time, but now you're going to have UFC, you're going to have WWE all under one parent umbrella. Do you see a cross promotion here, or do you think they need to be separate?
No, I think they should combine. They've already kind of done stuff like this. I feel like a lot of UFC fighters have crossed over into the wrestling realm, and you have seen the occasional wrestler like a CM Punk or something like that try their hand at MMA type. I don't know if it's UFC, but an MMA type match. So I feel like it's natural, and the promotion, like the money behind these things is getting crazy. So why not combine forces? And
Voltron.
And yeah, like, and I'll form the head. But yeah, I always wanted to watch wrestling, and new wrestling, but I have no idea how do you watch it. How do you watch wrestling right now, Rob? Do you have to
with my eyes open?
No, do you have to subscribe to a wrestling channel, or do you watch it on network TV?
Well, yeah. So now it's all different, right? So unless, like, if you have the certain sports package and you can see it, but otherwise you have to subscribe on a monthly basis, and you get like $15 a month, and you get access to all the pay-per-views and everything else. So that's I'm doing that for the next little bit. I just want to see, why not? You know what? I might as well give it a go and see if I can get back into watching wrestling. Speaking about giving it a go and getting back into things, remember that movie, John, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, starring Toronto's own Michael Cera, that took place in Toronto?
Yes, it had everybody. It had Chris Evans in it.
That's right, Brandon Routh. It is coming back, but as a Netflix anime series, John.
Makes sense. 100%
With
makes
all
sense.
the original cast reprising their roles.
Oh, doing the voices? Oh, that's crazy.
All original cast coming back doing the voices for Scott Pilgrim anime series. How are you feeling about this?
I think it's good. I think it's time for it to come back. I played the video game with my daughters. It's fun. The manga did phenomenally well when that movie first hit. Everybody was like, "Yo, do you have that Scott Pilgrim manga?" So we sold a ton of it. And then it just kind of disappeared. The video game even went away for a while because of licensing issues. And then it recently came back. I don't know if it's via remaster or whatever, but I know they made a new edition on those limited edition run games and stuff. So yeah, it makes sense. And if all those performers are coming back to do the voices for it, yeah, sure. I wonder if they're just going to retell the same story though, or they're going to make up a new one. Like
no idea.
Or continue the story, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely. And anime is super hot right now, so let's go, folks. I gotta order some Scott Pilgrim in now.
Scott is saying, "Wait, Rob has a sports package? I do not. Well, I do, but it's for my son who likes to watch hockey. So I do and I don't." And Gordon says, "I am the sport package," and that is completely true. Okay. I'm okay. So last week, John, we had a rumor that kind of came out, and it went really, really hot, and then it fizzled pretty quickly. And so the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it would be an interesting discussion point. So there was a rumor last week that obviously Matt Reeves has, in the last few days, has been speaking out about the Batman 2. They start production very, very soon, and he was talking about the challenges. The first one of getting the tone and developing the characters, right, for that to have an emotional journey, and then going back into that world to give them another emotional journey throughout the course of this forthcoming movie. And a leak came out last week that supposedly one of the villains in the Batman 2 is going to be Clayface. And then that was then spun into a Clayface series for HBO Max that was going to be overseen by Mike Flanagan, who is the creative mastermind behind The Haunting of Hill House, Blind Manor, and so on and so forth. And then Mike Flanagan came out and was like, yeah, no, there's not really any truth to that. He doesn't disagree that he may have pitched a Clayface series some time ago to Warner Brothers DC, but that he may not be involved. He was very kind of choosy on his words that he may not be involved in anything going forward. But I don't know if Clayface would actually be a proper villain, because it seems that Matt Reeves is trying to ground the Batman universe a little bit, as evidenced with what he did with the Riddler and his version of it.
Yes.
So, John, though, would you like to, is Clayface, aside from Batman the Animated Series, has never really been portrayed anywhere live action, unless I'm thinking about some Arrow TV episode that I don't remember. But do you think Clayface could live in a world with Matt Reeves' Batman, or do you think it's just too hokey of a concept?
No, I think it could work if done right, especially if you go back, which I actually just did recently, watch that Clayface episode. I think it's a two-parter from the season 1 of Batman the Animated Series, which is available on Stack TV if you have the Stack TV extension app on your Amazon Prime, or I'm sure you probably own a copy of Batman the Animated Series. But it is those episodes, Rob. Well, the general tone of that show in general, right? Sometimes it gets pretty dark. For him to turn into Clayface, they basically try to drown him in a
vat of mud.
Yeah, the mud. It's a really dark moment in the series where I'm like, damn, I was okay with this when I was a kid, but I guess I was. But yeah, you can do it, but I would like them to stick to the basics right now and keep it simple. I don't want them to screw up what they've already built with this Matt Reeves universe. But they could do it. Yeah. Look at any of that stuff from the first couple seasons of Batman. Like they could add Grey Ghost to a movie if they really wanted to. Yeah. They could add Robin if they do it as dark as the animated series. Like, remember that episode Robin comes back and tries to kill the guys who killed his parents, and Batman has to stop him? Like, that's a cool episode. Yeah. So if that's what they're going to do, they can do it. But I would prefer a more grounded villain for now. So more the Batman detective work.
Yeah. That was the one thing I loved about the Batman is that it's 90% of the Batman and 10% Bruce Wayne. That was the first time we ever got that. Okay. Hey, John, things that we that are coming out that we didn't ask for. Your hero, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, announced today that he is doing a reimagining of his Disney cartoon Moana in live action, and he's going to reprise his role that he played in Moana. Is this just him trying to save face because of the bad PR he's been facing of late, or is this something that people legitimately want, a live action version of Moana?
Okay, I'll address the Moana thing first, and then I have like not a hot take, but I have like a theory on what The Rock is up to. But Moana, you have to, if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to be in a live action, you got to do it now, Rob. You can't wait 10 years from now and go, hey, play Maui. He would get relegated to another character as a tribute role, right? So if he does it now, he can still play that character in a live action in the shape that he's in. And kind of like he's still a big star. He still gets a lot of attention. And maybe he needs to lighten up his image. But my take on The Rock, or my theory, Rob, let me know what you think. Because there's a whole thing. Zachary Levi has started jumping in right now. And they haven't started going back and forth yet, Rob. But since you are now rekindling your love for wrestling, we remember how Rock came up. Rock came up as a regular wrestler. It wasn't until he turned into a heel that he skyrocketed into the stratosphere, right? So what if this whole thing with the Black Adam kerfuffle with DC, now a possible rivalry with Zachary Levi? What if he's going heel, and he's making himself the bad guy, and him and Zachary Levi start going back and forth, and then DC's like, oh, maybe we will have a Shazam versus Black Adam movie. Now that you guys
would be one hell of a grift.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how crazy would that spin be?
Yeah.
Or am I reaching too far? You think that's too much? You don't think they can collaborate stuff like that?
I think it's really hard to apply the logic of the heel and face values onto like, because I think most people would be like, what an asshole. And then they wouldn't really cheer for him afterwards. They'd be like,
yeah,
I don't give a shit. Right. So I don't know. Everybody loves a good comeback story, especially Hollywood, but I don't know, man. I don't know if that's I do respect the angle. I just don't think it would actually.
Yeah, it might be a bit obscure for them to gamble, because I feel like he is taking a beating in his good guy image lately. I don't know if what it is, just the stories coming and then Zachary Levi jumping in and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not the greatest, but it's not like he's coming off as a really terrible person. I just feel like he's not as clean or like, shining bright star that
sure,
or beacon of hope that his
image
before.
has been tarnished slightly.
Yeah, it seems like, I'm like, dude, it sounds like you're being petty, but it might not be him. It's just those clickbait articles. We're in that age. But anyways, that was
okay. We got a couple of things I wanted to bring up before we go into Mission Impossible 4, and that is today we saw the release of 2 trailers, John. Wait, what is that? That is not Turbo
This is
Kid.
a 2015 Turbo Kid. Is this not what you're talking about?
No, man, 1980s Turbo Kid. What is wrong with you?
This has Michael Ironside in it.
You Googled the wrong damn thing.
I just wanted to show you that one. That was funny. Anyways, keep going. Go ahead.
You're an idiot. Okay. We saw 2 trailers drop in the last in the last 24 hours, John. The first one was yesterday, was Secret Invasion, Marvel's Disney Plus. Have you, or maybe it's Turbo Teen. Maybe it was called Turbo Teen. Have you seen, did you watch a trailer for Secret Invasion? If those in the chat, let us know. Did you guys watch Turbo Teen? Did you watch Secret Invasion?
I can't find anything under Turbo Kid other than this 2015 movie.
So try Turbo Teen.
Are crazy, and Scott is crazy. Everybody's crazy, or you just guys have mixed up. Maybe it's like Turbo Adolescence or Turbo Child. Teen. Maybe it's Turbo Child. Teen. But yeah, I did watch the Secret Invasion trailer. It looks pretty promising to me. I like the dark, serious tone. It's great to see Samuel L. Jackson in the mix again. And a whole bunch of other Emilia Clarke, I think I saw, was in that trailer. Yeah. And a whole bunch of stuff going on. So this, so far, I don't know. Is it the Andor version of the Marvel shows now? Like,
I don't know.
Rob, are you excited? I don't know. Were you checking out for these Marvel shows? I feel like I was starting to check out. You were. I think you were enjoying them more.
This one has me a little bit. I'm kind of excited to see how this one goes and what it looks. It looks all right. It looks kind of decent. I'll definitely give it a go. Especially if it's it looks like to be more like a spy story type thing, right? So I'm down to check it out. There you go, buddy. I can see it. You got Turbo Teen there.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna pop this Turbo Teen thing that Rob really wants to see adapted into something.
No, I just said I was surprised that it hasn't come back yet.
I gotta find an image. I started to play a YouTube video. That would have been not good. Top of copyright strikes. Anyways, I'll just share what's on here right now. The other
trailer we got. Yeah, see,
his head is the emblem of the car. The hood
actually changes. He actually goes into the car, but look, his hands turn into the wheels, John.
It doesn't make sense. Is he like Plastic Man? Like,
no.
Is he a human transformer?
He's driving around in that car, and he scroll down, man. He's driving around in that car, and he gets hit by lightning, and then he changes into the vehicle. See on the left how he's like it's that horrible shot. It looks like he was in a Human Centipede, and then he turns into the car. I think
this is funny.
Yeah, he's in the midst of transforming into the vehicle.
Okay, so how many times did you try to do this when you were a kid, Rob? That you had
Put my hands into
two wheels in each hand, and you like lied on the floor and were like
more than you know. I was like, come on. And then the last trailer we got today, John, was for Blue Beetle, DC's latest entry that would be coming out this August, starring
How bad does it look, Rob? How bad does it look?
Did you not watch the trailer?
I didn't
you
watch
know what?
it. How
I
bad
will
does it
say it actually looks pretty decent. I gotta say, I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised that you didn't see the trailer because it looks like it's got a oh god, what was the name of that video game, John? The guy with the giant big, is it Final Fantasy? He has a giant fat ass sword. Is that Final Fantasy where he's holding the giant sword? What video game is that?
I think that's Legend of Zelda.
No, Xeno.
Is
No,
it
the
Resident
big
Evil?
giant sword. I don't know. It's an anime thing. Anyways,
It's Cloud. Final
where
Fantasy VII. Cloud. Yeah.
he creates a big giant fat ass sword. So
Okay.
okay,
sure. So
yeah. Anyways, it looks okay. It looks all right. So it was while we were chatting, I was actually going to try to bring it up. So Rob Liefeld earlier today made a whole comment about the fact that like he talked about all these movies that have come out since Endgame, and that he's like, I'm not going to be going and seeing a lot of these. I haven't seen those, and I'm going to be putting Blue Beetle up on the same. I'm taking a break, and he said the golden age of comic book cinema is done, and he was kind of liking Blue Beetle to Ragnarok, to Love and Thunder, and to all these other movies that have come out, that is Shazam 2, that have underperformed.
Hate Ragnarok so bad.
No, Love and Thunder, and underperformed.
Oh, yeah,
and
sorry.
so, but he since deleted the tweet. But you know, this did have then it spun out earlier where there was a conversation James Gunn was asked about superhero movie fatigue, and he goes, yeah, of course it's real. There's a lot. The problem is you have to make sure that you are delivering stories that are enticing to people and are that will grab them to make them. If you're just putting out stuff that the stories are mediocre, then nobody's going to give a shit, essentially. And I'm paraphrasing James Gunn and maybe adding a bit more, but nobody's going to care, right? So it's all about the story. And as long as you're doing good stories, and superhero genre movies will continue to thrive. So there's obviously a lot riding on this upcoming Flash movie, but
trash movie is still trash movie, no matter what skin you put on it.
Right. Yeah. So you haven't seen the Blue Beetle trailer, so there's no point in talking about it. I don't know if anybody else in the chat has, but
let us know, folks. You're gonna go see Blue Beetle, or you're gonna wait for digital like me and watch Shazam 2.
All right.
I don't know. I'm concerned.
It's your guy though from Cobra Kai.
I do want to support it's Zolo, right? XOLO or whatever. Miguel from Cobra Kai. I do want to support him, and we do like to see minorities in lead roles. But I'm concerned. Shazam 2 is a bomb. Is it considered a bomb, or is it just underperformed?
I think it's considered a bomb at this point.
Yeah. So that's a bomb. I feel like they underestimated how tainted, basically cutting off the DC and announcing a whole new DC right around the corner, and you have this old DC just trying to finish up and I don't know, get everything off the table. So I feel like people are wise, and they're just going to wait for it on digital. They're just going to skip it. Scott, Shazam 2 did come out. Digital is scheduled for this month, I think.
Yeah, April 17th.
So,
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with a surprise drop of Creed 3, but I think we might know the reason why that happened. But we'll save that for later. Anything else you got, Rob?
No, that's it, man. That's the news.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. If we missed anything, let us know. She says she hasn't paid for a ticket in a long time. Yeah. Hey, if nothing's interesting you right now, I hear you.
Hey, listen, Guardians 3 tickets went on sale today. And I've got mine for opening weekend. So
what about Super Mario? Are you going to go see Super Mario?
I don't know. I didn't grab tickets for it. I don't know if they've done a pre-release on those yet or not. I don't know. I don't know if I will. We'll see.
I thought it was this week. It's not this week?
No, this week. Is it this week? I don't think so.
I thought it was this week. I might be completely wrong, folks. I feel like maybe there was more fanfare. But everyone I've talked to, I thought people were going to be hyped for this movie. But everyone's like, nah, I'm not interested. I'm like, Nintendo's a big deal. The trailer looks fun.
Yeah, no. It looks. Oh yeah, you're right. It is this week.
Yeah, this week.
Yeah.
So you can probably buy your tickets right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. I just took a look and you said, yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah. See, everybody's everyone's like, Mario's available this Wednesday. Yeah. Hey, Rob, did you know what that Mario's last name was Mario?
Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because the guy is Luigi Mario. That's his name.
It's lazy. That's lazy. That's lazy, Nintendo. Mario. Anyways, all right. Let us know if you guys go see Mario. I feel like I guess we're not going to see it, Rob, since you haven't bought your tickets and you love buying advance tickets.
I do.
But let's move on, folks. Thank you, everybody.
Oh my God! Speaking of advance tickets, before we go, John, I got advance tickets, buddy, for a show in September. I'm gonna go watch the Smashing Pumpkins. They're coming to Toronto. I got my tickets.
Today's the greatest day.
Yeah, it's right. Good for you, John. I'm very proud of you. You threw that out there like it was 1979.
The summer.
Very excited. All right, that's it.
All right, that's all. You just want to mention you got Smashing Pumpkins tickets,
yeah,
to go along with your tragically hip reference earlier in the episode. All the news coverage of music they will not be playing at the beach this summer. Rob had it covered. So they will not be playing the hip. They will not be playing Smashing Pumpkins. You'll hear a lot of Kendrick. You'll hear a lot of Meg Thee Stallion, and probably a crap ton of fan favorites like Jack Harlow and whoever. Anyways, let's rock and roll, Rob. Let's get into Mission Impossible, folks. So if you guys are hanging out with us, we're going to talk about Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. If you haven't seen it, why not go see it? Yeah. There's a new movie coming out, Dead Reckoning. Part 1. You're going to want to see this and all the movies after it before Dead Reckoning, I believe. You can maybe skip 1, 2, 3 if you want, but
no, you can't skip number 3 because number 3 is very important to Fallout.
Is it?
Yes.
No. When we get to Fallout, we'll talk about it. Anyways, go ahead, Rob. Do you have a rundown for Mission Impossible 4, aka
Ghost Protocol? All right, released December 16th. Yeah, released December 16th, 2011. Mission Impossible sees return of Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt, as well as returning cast member Simon Pegg, and a cameo at the end by Ving Rhames. Joining the action this go round is Jeremy Renner, Paula Patton, Michael Nyqvist, future Bond baby mama Leah Seydoux, and Josh Holloway Sawyer, for all you losties out there. Picking up the directing duties from J.J. Abrams is Brad Bird, the mastermind director behind The Iron Giant and The Incredibles, amongst other titles. Now, despite Mission Impossible 3 earning less than its predecessors at the box office, its critical reception was much better than the first 2 movies, and Paramount was really keen on developing a 4th movie in the series. Fun fact number 1, John. Future Mission Impossible director Christopher McQuarrie did a rewrite on Ghost Protocol. Fun fact
Protocol?
On what?
Grogu Protocol?
On Grogu Protocol, yes. The Mandalorian. And fun fact number 2, Simon Pegg also contributed some writing duties to Mission Impossible 4 and has done some writing on some of the other ones going forward. Now, this movie, number 4 here, Ghost Protocol, did up the action and intensity by seeing Cruise scale the world's tallest building in Dubai. With a budget of $145 million, John, the movie grossed $695 million worldwide and is currently the second highest grossing movie in the Mission Impossible franchise. It was met with great critical response. Rotten Tomatoes currently has it at 93% critics rating, but a surprising lower number on audience score of only 76%. So, John, 4 movies in, are your gloves glowing green or are they red and dead?
What did he say at the end? Mission complete or something?
Completed. Yeah.
He says mission accomplished, doesn't
he?
Accomplished.
Mission
accomplished. This movie. So quick thoughts on it. This movie is fantastic. I remember this is the movie where I'm like, Tom Cruise is now in the wheelhouse of my all-time Hall of Fame action stars. I think this was the turning point, and I just started following all of them. Like the other Mission Impossible 3, I didn't catch in theaters. 2, for some reason, I thought I liked, but it's not good. And 1, it was completely forgettable to me. So this is where it is, folks. I think if you don't feel like watching 1, 2, and 3, I'm not going to be mad at you. But Ghost Protocol, I think you really have to watch this one. And I think this is where Cruise and the Ethan Hunt character really kind of shape into what he becomes for the rest of the series. No, you don't think so?
I think it was number 3.
No, I think 3 is his. I think the idea of him leaving and having a family in 3 is not Ethan Hunt. The idea of Ethan Hunt sacrificing everything he loves and holds dear to save the world every day. That's
but you
Ethan
don't
Hunt.
get to number 4 and him like that ending scene.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense if you never watched number 3. And that is the thorough line from 3, 4, I think 5, and definitely Fallout. They talk like look at how important she plays a role.
I think I watched 4 with never seeing 3, so I think it's irrelevant. I just looked at that character and was like, "That's his wife character that they thought died, but he didn't." But anyways, let me throw it over to you, Rob. Your quick thoughts on Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. How do you feel watching it? It's 2011. This movie is over 10 years old. How that's crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, it just makes us feel even older, right? Like
no, it doesn't. Get out of here.
Yeah, man. Listen. This is a great movie. I feel like Brad Bird. I think he had a lot to live up to. I think this is one of his first live action movies, if not his first live action one. And I felt like he had a lot going, riding on it, and a lot of pressure. I think he delivered it, but I feel like there wasn't a lot of acclaim for him directing this as there was when he did The Incredibles, right? Yeah. Like Brad Bird after Incredibles. And then after this, I think he did Tomorrowland sometime after this. And again, didn't do very well.
That was ill-received.
Yeah. Although I liked the movie, but it was, ill-received. So this movie is a lot of fun. I mean, it definitely, it ratchets up the action and the intensity. The scene in Dubai, I feel like this movie, I felt like number 3 really cemented Tom Cruise running. And this movie really cemented Tom Cruise doing his own, like, those crazy stunts, right? Yeah. Like, we know Mission Impossible 2 is hanging off the side of the cliff, but it's like, okay, he's hanging off the side of a cliff. And then number 3, what did he do in number 3 that was so, I don't remember what.
No, number 3 was, I think, the rooftop. He was running across those buildings.
Right, running across the rooftops. Yeah. But this one was
it doesn't look as impressive. Yeah, they filmed this one way
unreal.
Better.
Like, he was really suspended up in the air on that building. So, I think that this movie really kind of catapulted him into that Jackie Chan sphere of actors doing crazy stunts for the movies, right? And so, yeah, man, overall, I really like this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. I feel it's a bit long, a bit convoluted at times, but for the most part, it was fun.
Yeah. My main issue with this movie is the bad guy is just a placeholder, right? It's just a thing that they have to deal with at the end. Most of the action scenes revolve of them just trying to accomplish a particular part of a mission, and it just falls apart, which I love. I love how the plan never works out to exactly what they want it to work out to, which is great. And just the ensemble cast, the addition of Jeremy Renner, I especially really enjoyed, especially now that we all love Renner now. To see him again on the rewatch of this, and pretty much everybody, the Simon Pegg role. I assume what he punched up in the writing room was probably a lot of the dialogue between him and Hunt and maybe some of the other characters, and probably just some of the funny, great stuff that he does. Like when he comes back from that sequence after changing the door numbers, and he's like, "Whoo, that was a close one." And then he looks at everyone's like on the floor, just like, oh my god, they just flew through the open window and all that stuff. It's great. The humor added to this really excels. But I guess we'll start diving. Let's talk a little bit more about the characters. Then you guys, let us know your quick thoughts of Mission Impossible 4: Ghost Protocol. Whether you really dug it on the rewatch, and then at the end of this we'll kind of rank it. I feel like I know where it's going to go. But how do you feel about short-haired Sawyer in this, Rob? For like a hot 5 minutes.
Man, I know. Well, it's too bad, right? Because I remember seeing him in the trailer going, "Oh, good, right? Josh Holloway is in Mission Impossible movie." And he's not long for that world.
Yeah.
And it's too bad because like I think he would make a really good action star. Like I do. And so it was just too bad. I really like seeing him. I mean, it was kind of nice to see him have a bit of more of a flashback scene later on when you see how he obtained that case.
Yeah.
But
His long hair. I think especially the ladies, everybody was just mesmerized by that long hair that he used to rock it in Lost. He had the long hair, he had the scruffy. I feel like it was the start of the scruffy, like rugged looking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he used to wear the tank tops all the time in Lost too, right? He's like in a white tank top and with a beard. Oh yeah. I was surprised. I remember when I saw it, I was like, "Yo, that's Sawyer," and then there he goes.
Yeah, and he's gone. It was cool for me to see. Like I forgot like some of the actresses and actors that were in this, like Leah Seydoux. I mean, like especially because I just finished watching all those Bond movies.
Yeah.
Like she was Madeline Swan, like in the last two movies, and played a really integral role to like. So it was kind of cool to see that. It was also, and as you said, like seeing Jeremy Renner pre Avengers, right? Because the Avengers hadn't come out at this point. So, to see him kind of, a little bit younger looking and kind of being funny. Like he was quite funny in the movie at times, but also like deadly. Like when he took apart that gun, he took off the slide and was like, yeah man, like he was pretty cool. And then I know that the bad guy, Michael Nyqvist, is how I'm going to pronounce this, but like this was his first American movie role, I believe, because he was in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, like of movies, right, from Sweden. So it was kind of neat to kind of see him. He's been in a lot of other things since then, generally playing a bad guy, to be honest with you. But yeah, man, overall, I thought this was really, really cool. You put an interesting question up on Facebook today when you were talking about the show tonight, and you were like, does Agent Jane Carter, played by Paula Patton, does she deserve to come back in the new one? Because we know there's a lot of individuals coming back for Reckoning, either part 1 or part 2. I don't know if she is or not, but I think she's pretty cool. I would totally
I really liked her. I thought she was super badass. And she had like that little bit of her past, like that one moment she's like looking at her hand shake when she's when they've caught the assassin that killed like her I guess was it her lover or her colleague or whatever. I think they
were knocking boots.
Yeah, but she was badass, and then she has to like seduce that guy, and it was a really good play back and forth. And it's always funny. Sorry, ladies, but it's always funny when they a piece of clothing always has to get ripped in a fight. you have two ladies fighting, and then you're like, yeah, a piece of clothing's got to get ripped off for some reason. You're like, what? Okay, sure. But yeah, it was crazy that girl got kicked out of the window. Do you think she got it the worst? The assassin that got booted out of the window.
Well, they were 132 floors up.
That's a long free fall to your death.
I think now, thankfully, we may have a doctor in the house, although he might be gone now. But I think you would probably die of a heart attack before,
like, of the shock.
Yeah, I think. Don't you think so? Like if you're falling that far down.
That's what I was saying. Like you're falling far. Like I don't know if it's a Bill and Ted joke or whatever. When they're, hey, we're still falling, and they're like, oh, I guess I'm gonna die now. But yeah,
because like what's terminal velocity? Like you would have hit terminal velocity. Like I figure you gotta be falling for a minute, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. That looked far. When Tom Cruise looked at that window, you're like, damn, that's far.
Yeah. Like were your hands sweating watching like the glove starting to
it's an intense scene. If I had to watch it on my computer, but if I watch it on like a big screen, when he starts looking down and they establish how high up he is, I'm pretty sure I would have got a little like, whoa,
vertigo,
up, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently Tom Cruise did that for real, so that they could get the shots, and it shows that everything looks really good. I love when the rope runs out. And Jeremy Renner's like, hey, it's too short.
I know. He's like, thank you very much. You think?
He's like, no shit. It was great. There's a lot of like one-liners. Lewis mentions Pegg and Renner are just good. Yeah, they're on fire. Simon Pegg is just great in this movie.
Because and you can tell like he definitely adds more to this movie than like he was funny in number 3, but he was the guy on He was the dude of the computer, right? And now he's like in the field as the guy in the computer. Definitely a lot more funnier. And this is also the time, we talk about Star Trek, with Chris Pine, but like, look at what he did with the Scotty role. And like, he plays a really good side character, like a co-star type stuff. Yeah. He's really funny. And so it was a nice, he's one of those things that really breathed a lot of new life into the franchise.
Yeah.
Thanks to his inclusion in number 3, John.
Yeah. His teeny tiny part number 3. But yeah, bringing back characters, I think characters that we get attached to and bring them back over and over again is
There's
great.
only been one other one, Luther.
Yeah. He shows up. Ving Rhames shows up at the end, which was great. And then Renner, you are going to see him in the upcoming movies, which adds to the fun. I do like the idea of sometimes characters rotating out, but it's always nice to see characters come back. Do you have you guys in the comments, let us know if you have a favorite scene. But Rob, do you have a favorite scene in this, a part that you would watch over and over again? I feel like
it would have to be the scene, like the hotel scene, right? Like,
the rooms on top of each other.
Yeah, but that's the obvious one. So if I had to pick another one, I mean, well, honestly, even like the car chase in the sandstorm was pretty cool, right? I mean, especially when he sees that the car is going onto the highway, so he does the cut through, and then he rams his car into the side, and then he drives it, and then Cruz bails out of the car. And the other car can't see, and then it started making me think, like, so we deal with snowstorms. If we had a whiteout of that capacity, people wouldn't pull over. Nobody would keep driving. So what the hell are all these people? You see all these other cars driving on the highways in the sandstorm. I'm like,
if it happens all the time, you got to get to where you're going. So you're probably not going to pull over. I pulled over once in a super rainstorm, I think, on the highway, because you just couldn't see nothing. It was crazy. But we did get kind of the whiteout effect from that flash snowstorm. I was driving home at like 10 p.m. at night or whatever from the store, and it just whited out. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
this is scary. So yeah, I would imagine, you should have.
The car that could have possibly gotten through that snowstorm, that sandstorm without any issues, John.
What?
Turbo Teen.
Turbo Teen's on the floor. Yeah, but Tom Cruise wishing he could turn into Turbo Teen. But yeah, I think hands down that scene with the rooms on top of each other, where they're trying to swap everything out, they had to exchange the diamonds. I do question the assassin character's method of carrying the diamonds. Did you see what she did with the diamonds after she got them? She takes her bag and she just goes whoop.
I was like, wait, did you just dump in her purse?
I'm like, you don't got a Ziploc. You don't got a you don't got like
you're gonna get in the folds. You're gonna get in the
little pouch or something like that. I'm like, you're gonna have to like
seams of your purse.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like dig through the purse and find all those diamonds and stuff. So if you guys got another scene you want to talk about. But Rob, can I throw some questions at you then, since we're getting a little long in our time? All right. So the intro where they show clips of what's going to happen in the movie, I believe that's a throwback to the Mission Impossible TV show or something of the like, right?
Yep.
Is that cool? Do you like that idea?
It's interesting, but I mean,
we watched the trailers anyway, so I was like, oh, maybe add some excitement. You know?
I guess it is. They did it in the first movie. They've done it in all the movies, right? Although they didn't do it in number 3. Remember number 3? They didn't do it. So yeah, I guess it's a throwback, an homage to the TV series. I don't know. I could kind of do without it, to be honest with you, but whatever.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, by the time they're obviously not in sequential order, so by the time things happen, I never really think, oh, that was the thing in the opening.
Yeah. Oh, this part hasn't happened yet. I know it's coming up, right?
Yeah.
So everything kind of moves quickly. I just thought it's neat that they kind of spoil it, but I don't know. I feel like.
Wouldn't you prefer to see stuff from the previous movies?
I do really love. Remember that Fast and the Furious that had like a 2-minute sizzle reel of like all the previous Fast and the Furious summaries? Yeah, that was a fantastic thing that they did. So Rocky used to do it. Rocky used to play the entire last half of the last movie.
Yes, right.
Rocky, 3, 2, and whatever.
Yeah.
So that's always
Spider-Man
fun to see.
2, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 did it, right? They
Yeah.
did that for the first movie. They
Yeah.
showed, like, on the opening credits, they showed all the stuff from the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So what's more preposterous, Rob? Tom Cruise climbing through the window, or Tom Cruise taking a random pen and drawing a guy's face on it and going, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah, that one. Definitely way more preposterous. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, that just makes it, all of a sudden he becomes Vin Diesel superhero by being able to do everything.
I think he did that in 3 where he drew the towers like perfectly, like mapped out his geographical traversal with the ropes and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It was pretty funny, but it was funny to see him go, "Hey, give me a pen."
Yeah.
And he drew a face on his hand. He's like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah.
And Jeremy Renner even kind of like, "Well, judging by this crude thing you drew,
Yeah.
it looks like blah blah blah." And you're like,
Right.
"Get out of town." Anyways, all right. So we already talked about who died the worst. If anyone else has got a nomination, let me know. So I'm going to add a new category, Rob. It's should this guy get fired? The guy who's watching the desk and they move the screen all the up and trick him into not seeing anyone in the hallway.
Yeah.
Does that guy get fired the next day?
No. Firing squad. Definitely firing squad.
I feel like that technology is crazy because all those guys ran up to it and were like, "What the hell is this?" It fooled like the whole room until it got like all like disoriented. And
there was too many eyeballs, and it kept switching its perspective and point of view. Yeah. That was a pretty cool thing though to watch, right? Like, when you're watching that, it was still pretty impressive.
Oh, it's cool. I remember in the theater because it's done in complete silence. All you hear is them sliding this thing around and motioning to each other, and you hear the little. I think they do the water thing. And then you hear them like sliding things out of their pockets and stuff like that. It was really well done. You could have easily thrown a music track in there or whatever to keep things rolling, but it was like complete silence. Yeah. They do that a lot in this movie.
When Simon Pegg, he stands up in front of the camera and he's scratching his face. Like that, you see the great big spray.
It's a preview of MODOK technology.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah. The parking garage, the amount of damage that Cruise and that guy took in the parking garage is ridiculous.
I thought about you. I was like, once he's in the car chase scene at the end there, and then he's going, I was like, this must be John's heaven. Watching all of these cars in that automated parking garage. He must be loving this.
They're all mediocre cars except for a couple of the Beamers, which clearly BMW sponsored this movie.
Yeah,
in a lot of the movies coming up.
So I don't listen. I'm not a physicist, or I don't study physics.
Get out.
But okay, so he drives the car. He's got to get down there because the guy, to Lewis's point, he just like, I'm gonna kill myself, and he decides to jump, and then. I mean, that was such a hard bang when the car's moving and he hits the car first and then tumbles off. And then when he lands on the ground, you see his leg twitching. That was really funny. But Cruise is like, I don't know how to get down there fast enough, so I'm just going to take a car. So he drives the car off, and now he's going. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why wouldn't it just go straight across? Like, shouldn't the momentum have taken him more across, and he would have landed on like the 5th floor type thing? But
and then had to move around, had to pull a Yui.
Yeah, he's backing up and he's like looking. I got to make a 3-point turn to get off the 5th floor. But like, he drove. It's not like he stopped and then waited for the car to teeter. Okay, but even if it does, John, he goes, and then would it not fall for like? It would fall straight. It just seemed improbable to me. And I think, despite the fact that you have an airbag, I think your legs would be crushed.
the front impact collision would have been tough. Maybe he should have reversed over it.
I would have been happier if he went to do that and he went into the back seat, because like the front.
That's too many moving parts, Rob.
No, but think about it. Like his legs would have been crushed. He was holding onto the wheel. His legs are by the pedals. His legs would have been crushed. It's impractical.
It's got the most solid frame on the planet. But yeah.
All right, here's a question. Who's the more useless character? The Russian cop chasing Tom Cruise or Josh Holloway's character at the beginning.
I don't know, the Russian cop. The one point when Tom Cruise first escapes, he like goes up to the window, and Tom Cruise is like out there with no shirt on and no shoes, and then he just takes out a cigarette and smokes it. And then Tom Cruise flies down, lands on the car, and falls off. And then he starts to take out his gun, and then Tom Cruise runs off barefoot, and this guy does nothing basically. But
also, the lady doesn't notice, like she's looking elsewhere, and he walks over and he grabs a pair of shoes and walks off. And she's like gingerly smoking, like lighting.
Oh, the odds of that being the right shoe size is ridiculous. But I guess there are some common sizes, and maybe Tom Cruise is the common size.
Okay, so let me ask, have you ever tried to steal something from an outdoor market? Like, I haven't, but I would imagine somebody would probably find me taking a jacket off a clothesline and putting it on and walking away.
It was a fly jacket too. It was a nice jacket.
Yeah.
It was like a leathery jacket with the hood and everything. Yeah. I'm like, that's a dope jacket.
He liked it so much, he put it back on at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he's kept it. He's like, I'm keeping this shit.
Yeah.
It's a nice jacket. I'm going to use it for the movie poster. It's on the movie poster, this jacket.
Yeah. I'm going to keep this. And I'm also going to use my product placement of my Apple iPhone with white earbuds hanging down to be able to listen to my next mission, which admittedly was pretty cool because they did reference the Syndicate. So that was cool, right? That was, again, more world building because that's from the TV series, the Syndicate, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like their version of James Bond's Spectre.
Yes. The very confusing plot of that movie.
No, not the movie Spectre, the organization Spectre, you idiot.
It was also a very confusing concept in James Bond.
Wait, so you have a good, like MI6 are the good guys. You have to obviously have to have a bad organization. John, you work in a comic book store. You have Justice League, and then you have the Legion of Doom. I don't understand what the
I know, it's just funny. It's funny to make fun of Bond movies. But anyways, thank you folks for rewatching Mission Impossible.
Steve's calling me out. He's like, cars are not designed like that. They haven't been since the early 90s. What do you mean designed like what?
I feel like those old cars might be stronger. They'd be just like an iron box. But
yeah, I would rather be falling in like a
no airbags, so you would be in a pretty bad shape. Rob, where do you rank this in your Mission Impossible movies? We've seen 4 of them. Mine goes 4, 3, 2, 1, basically.
I'd probably go 4, 3, 1, 2.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So this beats 3, even though you
I really like 3. I upon rewatching, I actually think 3 might be a tighter movie than this one. Like I especially because of the runtime, I felt like it was a lot more tighter than this movie. I do really like 3, but you can't ignore how much they upped the ante in the stunt work with 4 to like it. Yeah, so for sure 4, 3, 1.
Yeah, everything coming together, the ensemble cast, the humor, everything they've injected. I'll agree that 3 has a way better villain, the Philip Seymour Hoffman character.
Oh yeah,
he was much more formidable. You were like, oh man, he's gonna win. How are they gonna beat him? Right? This character in this movie is just a placeholder.
Well, that because you can hear Philip Seymour Hoffman going, "I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna kill her."
You just love your Philip. He just seems smarter though. He seemed more calculated. Like he kind of knew how to anticipate. Whereas this guy, they were just chasing him the whole time, and when they caught him, they basically beat him. But anyways, we're not going to get into a car debate. This is not Fight Club. I don't know. One movie has a lot of car crashes in it. Remember Fight Club? He was like an insurance.
Well, I think Fast and Furious have a lot of car crashes in it.
Well, Fast and Furious's physics are out of control. The physics in this movie are questionable. Like the girl grabbing Paula grabbing Jeremy Renner, who grabs Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know if this chain in real life works without someone's arm like fully just ripping off,
or just letting go because like your hands are sweaty.
Yeah, because it's hot and you're in the desert. Italian Job is a fantastic movie. I think the Mark Wahlberg one. I would rewatch that. But anyways, you guys let us know what you thought of Mission Impossible 4, where you rank it. Looks like Lewis was with Rob 4, 3, 1, 2. For some reason, I don't like 1.
And Lewis agrees. Number 3 is necessary.
Yeah, I'll say it laid the groundwork. I feel like I did not see 3 before I saw 4.
Yeah, you're probably right. You probably got.
And I just knew that this character was supposed to be his wife, and they had just a neat ending sequence. But anyways, moving on from that, Rob.
But I am happy
week,
though, John, that you did enjoy number 3 a lot more than you anticipated.
Yeah. I remember I got a lot of hate, and then I watched it, and I was like, "This is actually good." I don't know why.
Yeah,
but yeah. Anyways, Rob, do we have a next week? We're going to be here, right? And we're probably just going to talk about whatever. Yeah. So Easter Monday next week, folks. If you're free, join us. We're going to hang out. We might announce something, but I don't think we're going to have any homework per se. We might just do a catch up on maybe the movies that we didn't get a chance to talk about, or whatever everyone else is watching. So we will, in theory, be here.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys then. Thank you for hanging out with us, talking Mission Impossible, various other things. Let me know about my Rock theory. Is Rock playing the heel to reinvigorate his career for the Moana relaunch?
Yeah.
And if you go to see Super Mario, let us know what you think. I don't think we're going to see it opening weekend, but you never know. You never know. Rob's going to drink some more pill. No, I think everyone's done with that.
That was the worst thing ever.
Damn you, Lindsay Lohan.
I know. You're so damaged and hot, but damn, I cannot listen to you.
I am rooting for that Lindsay Lohan comeback. Anyways, folks, thank you for tuning in as always. Thank you, Mr. Rob.
Thanks,
we will see you guys on the next one.
Sounds good.